So welcome everybody to Yoga with Daisy on behalf of Cambridge Biomedical Campus, who are providing these yoga sessions for all of their staff, so it's really kind of them. And this is the last class for the summer. I'll be back in September. There'll be a whole kind of new timetable in September. The recordings for all of the class are uploaded afterwards onto the Cambridge Biomedical Campus YouTube channel. So all of my previous classes are there, and today's class will be uploaded later on today. So a couple of things: if you're new to my classes or you're new to yoga or practicing any kind of movement, then take it easy. Don't try and do everything that I'm doing. I've been practicing for over 20 years. So just kind of try your best, try it out, maybe 30–40% kind of effort. If you need any equipment and you don't have yoga blocks, then you could just use a big book, a chair, a wall, anything that you might need, a cushion, all of those sort of things. So don't be afraid to go and grab them if you discover halfway through that you need some additional kind of equipment to support you in the poses. Today, we're going to focus on the shoulders and hip openers. So we will be combining the two. For me, I would probably focus more on the shoulders. They take quite a long time to warm up. So again, the first half of the class, take it easy. I've done this sequence this morning and I really enjoyed how it made me feel afterwards. So hopefully you get the same effects as well. We're going to begin the class without any more spiel. So bring yourself to Shavasana, which is a comfortable position lying on your back, whether you have your legs extended or soles of the feet together or knees bent, is all dependent on how it feels for you today. So I'm going to have my knees bent actually, palms facing the floor. So as you close the eyes, start with a big inhale and exhale, so almost like a big sigh as you let everything go. And now together, let's spend a couple of minutes doing some breath work. So focusing on the sound of your breath and the sensations of your breath, let's just observe how we inhale and exhale without trying to change anything. So if you can nasal breathe, focusing on the tip of the nose as you draw air in and then softly exhale air out. If you can't nasal breathe, then obviously just breathe however comes naturally to you. So once the body starts to soften and settle down onto the mat, you can play around with your breath. So sending your breath to the left hip as you inhale. And then maybe over to the right hip. See if you can really expand out through the side ribs on your next inhale. And now we're going to move up into the shoulders. So inhale into the left shoulder. And then over to the right shoulder. And now the body will relax. Focus on the belly as you inhale, it puffs up and kind of pushes outwards and then softens down as you exhale. If anything I say today doesn't make sense, then please just do whatever makes sense to you. Kind of that you build up skill and understanding, the more consistent you are with your yoga practice. So don't try and get and understand everything in one class. It can take months and years for the body and the mind to kind of catch up with each other. So it's more about an exploration. It's more about noticing your breath, noticing how the body feels, practicing with kindness, practicing with love. So nothing in yoga is extreme. Everything is very subtle. It's non-competitive. And it's more about you moving the body at the same time as the mind is focused on the breath. So as we've been here for a minute or so, the body should feel quite calm. Take a couple more breaths up into the shoulders, just to remind them that that's the area that we're going to work on today. And just keep letting everything go as you exhale. One more breath up into the shoulders, allow them to lift up and puff out. And then just exhale everything away. Next, move your breath to your hip area. Take a deep inhale into the pelvis and pelvic bowl. And exhale everything away. One more as you inhale again into the pelvic bowl. See if you can balloon the breath within. Feel that space and softness before exhaling everything away. And now take a deep inhale and exhale as you half flick open the eyes, or maybe you have them open or maybe you have them closed. We're going to start with a couple of bridge variations. So bring your feet as wide as the mat, palms face down. Now flatten your lower back. So press your lower back into the mat. You'll feel your pelvis tilt upwards. Press the feet, press the hands and squeeze your bum to bring yourself to bridge. Maybe you come halfway, or maybe you squeeze even further and lift the hips even higher. So this is a very good pose for the entire body. So as you allow the legs to be strong, the bum muscles to be strong, see if you can soften the face and breathe here for 3. Don't allow the knees to cave inwards. Knees should always be drawing outwards as you really focus on pressing the pelvis forward. Holding for 2 more. Learning to increase the duration of your breath. So for the last one, inhale for the longest time it takes. And then exhale the same amount of time it took you to inhale. As you keep the length of your spine, gently unwind yourself back onto the mat. Hips come down last. Now you may find that you need to adjust yourself because you may have softened areas in the shoulders and hips and spine. If so, creep your feet slightly further to the top corners of the mat. And again, remember this is a bridge variation because we're trying to wake up the hips as well as the shoulders. Let's go up again for a count of 3. Press the lower back in, set yourself up correctly, press the hands and feet and squeeze yourself up. Go beyond that challenge point if you want to. Your chin may well start to tuck towards your chest. Knees out, really strong. And now kind of ignore the body. So allow the body to do the strong work as the mind focus on 3 inhales and exhales. 2 more. Don't allow the weight of the bum to drag down as this will pull on your lower back. So really strong through the glute, core and pelvic floor. If you're not sure how to activate your pelvic floor muscles, for the last inhale and exhale, I want you to see if you can suck up the sensation through the center of the groin up towards your tummy button. And then when you exhale, release. Gently lower yourselves down to the mat. Take a breath. Gently allow the knees to go to one side, back to center, over to the other side a couple of times. Always remember when you do knees side to side that this is a spinal twist. So don't allow your legs to move fast without being mindful as your spine will equally twist aggressively. So kind of move really mindfully the whole class. Now pause, bring your knees to your chest. Cross your ankles, take your hands slightly behind the knees and see if you can rock yourself to seated. If you can't rock yourself to seated that way, then just make your way to all fours on your own. So bringing yourself to all fours. Extended child's pose. So remember, focus on the hips and the shoulders, mainly the shoulders. Bring your glute muscles to the heel of the bum. As you extend the arms forward, look down, dome the fingertips, and lift the elbows. So settle here, take a couple of breaths. I just need to make sure everybody's muted. Yeah, cool. So yes, nice, lifting the elbows. So this is an active child's pose. Now, the main point of child's pose is that you want your bum muscles to not lift up from the heel. So keeping them pressed to the heel, see if you can lift the face and walk your hands over to the right. So particularly as you go to the right, your left glute muscle wants to be rooted down. Now, either stay here or take your left hand on top of your right to increase that side stretch. Look down or release the head and neck. Close the eyes if you're comfortable and breathe into this stretch for 3. Hold for 2. One more, full inhale and full exhale. Gently walk the fingertips back to center. Reroute the glute muscles down onto the heel of the feet and go over to the left. Same thing, you could have the hands separated. You could creep that right hand beyond the left, or you can place the right hand on top of the left hand. Look down, close the eyes, release the weight of the head and neck, and breathe here for 3. Learn to hear the breath, to feel the breath, to enjoy the breath for 2. Learning to be patient and mindful and take your time. Last, full inhale and exhale. Gently flick open the eyes, come back to center and bring yourself to all fours. Now this might be a bit tricky online, so we're just going to do our best. Take your hands to each top corner so that your hips are now over the knees. And now look down. See if you can start to tilt the tailbone up towards the sky as you bring your chest down towards the mat for puppy pose. We're not going to stay here. So we're going to draw tummy button to spine as you inhale. You can dome the fingertips if your hands are slipping. And reverse that by tilting tailbone up and allowing tummy button to go down towards the mat. And then again, draw tummy button to spine. We're warming up the shoulders, but also the core, and do your best. So lower down the belly and chest, look forward, inhale, draw tummy button to spine, lift up. Last one, tailbone up, tummy button down. See if you can lower down. Now, if your chest can come to the floor, you can look forward. If your chest is nowhere near the floor, then look down so the back of the neck is happy. Take 2 breaths here. Broaden the shoulders away from the ears. One more. Inhale, come up. Drag your right hand under your right shoulder and then left hand under the left shoulder. Push back briefly, child's pose. If you feel like you need to sit up and shake off the arms, because that's quite a strong kind of warm up, then please do that and then reset yourself back. Now bring yourself to all fours. Remember, shoulder warm up takes a long time, but you will feel good after class. Take your left hand to the top center of your mat and then sweep your right hand to the right. So you can see my shoulders are stacking. Spread the fingers of both hands really, and now sweep your right hand and thread it through, placing the back of the hand, back of the shoulder, side of the head onto the mat, and then pause. Dome the fingertips of the left hand, visualize the spine, take a breath or so. And when it doesn't feel so intense, see if you can flatten your left hand and lift up your right shoulder, shrugging it a tiny bit further through. So you start to be able to look up towards the ceiling. Now straighten the left arm, walk it over to the right,
but feel the side lengthening. So you're lengthening from left hip to left shoulder to left hand. Now press down the right hand to keep yourself in this intense twist. And let's breathe for 3. For 2. 1 more full inhale and exhale. It's quite a strong twist, so back off if it becomes too intense. Don't torture yourself. After your next exhale, drag your left hand in front of your face, press the palm into the mat, lift up your right shoulder and release as a twist. So again, if you're new to yoga, you might be like, what on earth just happened? I don't know if I did that right. Hand down, push back to child's pose. Consistency is key, and as long as you're not in pain, you're okay. If something doesn't feel right, then move until it feels okay. It's a very simple instruction. Yoga is not to be like a torture class. Right hand, top, center of the mat, other side. Twist, open the left part of the pectoral muscle of the chest. Spread the fingers on both hands, lift up. And then see if you can use that length and sweep the left hand through. Threading it through, back of the hand, side of the shoulder, side of the head, and pause. Dome the fingertips of the right hand. So when you dome the fingertips and press them into the mat, that will keep you in a strong twist. Breathe, soften. So the body has to start to relax before you can do anything more. When you feel some softness, see if you can shrug your left shoulder. So you lift it up, shrug it a tiny bit further through, and see if you can look up towards the ceiling. Now straighten the right arm and walk the fingertips over to the left, but you're connecting that with the lengthening of the side of the body. So this time it's right hip, right shoulder, right hand. Breathe for 3. Closing the eyes whenever you're comfortable. Press that left hand into the floor to keep you in that twist. For 2. I'm going to challenge you today because it's the last class of the summer, so just smile if it gets too tough. 1 more. And now drag your right hand in front of your face, press the hand, lift the left shoulder, and gently release to a twist. Whew, I went quite deep into that twist for me today, so hopefully my shoulders will appreciate that. Hand down, briefly push back to child's pose, soften the shoulders, soften the face, take a big breath in and out. Let everything go. And then inhale back to all fours. So this time you want hands roughly under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to isolate the lower part of the back where the tummy button is and where the lumbar spine is. So I'll talk you through this variation of cat-cow. Spread your fingers, press your hands into the mat, arms straight. Now keep your arms still. Keep your rib cage still. On your next inhale, really suck your tummy button towards your spine. Keep drawing your tummy button towards your spine until you feel this rounding across the upper back. Allow the head to drop down. Really strongly press the arms into the mat for cat. And now we're going to reverse this by tilting tailbone up towards the sky. Tummy button moves away from the spine. And then you look forward, lift the chin forward, not up to the ceiling. Good. 1 more. Draw tummy button really strongly towards the spine. So we're isolating the lower part of the back. Make sure you really press the hands in to warm the shoulders up. Head can drop down. And then reverse. Tailbone tilts really strongly up. Belly hangs down. And chin reaches forward. Now come back to a neutral spine.
I'm just going to walk my hands in and sit up. So please do that as well. Shake off any tension. So the reason I just came out of the sequence is because I could feel my own hands and arms. And if I can do that, then I'm sure other people are the same. Couple of rolls of the shoulders. And now hands forward, spread the fingers, press the palms, lean forward, tuck the toes, lift up your knees. Bring yourself to high plank. Now your bum is as high as your hips, so you may need to adjust. Press the hands, that switches your shoulders on. See if you can hold for 5. So really focus on the sound of the breath for 4. Tummy button draws in, pelvic floor can be activated for 3. For me, I'm really strong through my arms and legs, and my face and breath are soft for 2. One more full inhale and full exhale. Now bring your knees down towards the mat, feet flat back. Keep your body still. Bend your elbows to 90, chaturanga, and then all the way to your belly. Rest your forehead, take a breath. Now lift the face, open the eyes, drag your right arm out to the side in line with the right shoulder. Tuck up your left foot. As you lift your left heel to the ceiling, now draw the left foot over to the right. Allow the head to rest onto the mat. So we're getting a pectoral stretch. If you don't feel anything, roll back to your belly and adjust your hand to a more cactus position. That will make the stretch much more intense. So just see which one you prefer. Close the eyes, press and dome the fingertips of the left hand. Breathe for 3. The slower we take the warm up, the easier, the more challenging poses later on become. For 2. On 1, lift up this leg, roll back to center, straighten the left arm and tuck up the right leg for the other side. So as you roll over to the left, dome the fingertips of the right hand, rest the head and neck, close the eyes if you're comfortable. Your focus should be on this left upper shoulder pectoral muscle as you breathe into that area for 3. For 2. One more. Lift up that right leg, roll yourself back to your belly, and then bring both hands either side of the shoulders, lift up, adjust the body. Now, my fingers are spreading, my elbows are in. I'm going to tuck my toes and drag my knees in. Now see if you can slowly push up. Then bum back to the heels, really nice. Lift yourself up to down dog. Now just release everything out. So don't feel like you're being told what to do. Take that trust and power back that you know your body better than anybody else. Just pedal out through the heels, pulse out through the shoulders, twist either side, and just focus on the breath. So the body wants to move around and wriggle, and the mind wants to be still and focused. Two more here. And then after your next exhale, pause your down dog. So be still in your down dog. Take your right foot, turn the right foot out at about 45 degrees. Bend your left leg a lot. Lean into your right hip. So as you push the hands away, lean into the right hip and look underneath the right underarm for a twist. Very good. Now back to center. Other side.
From your down dog, turn your left foot out at 45 and really bend your right knee. Hands are strong, push the mat away, lean into that left hip and see if you can twist and look underneath that left underarm. And then back to center. That was tough, so well done if you did your best. Now bend both knees, look forward. Step or jump to the front. As you lift up the spine halfway, bring your belly and chest forward and your hands reach either side of the hips. Now bend the knees, rest your belly on your thighs, hands to the floor, tip your hips up and see if you can look at your shins or your knees, Uttanasana. Take hold of opposite elbow. Breathe. So the head and neck is just released. Now use the weight and awareness of your hands on your elbows to draw your arms down towards the floor. The weight will shift to the toes. The spine will lengthen. The back will release. And the hamstrings on the back of the thigh will get a nice stretch. Breathe for 3. Tell your tummy button and spine to let go for 2. One more full inhale and full exhale. Slowly release the hands from the elbows. You may find you're way deeper in this pose than you normally are. Heel toe your feet together. Bend the knees a lot. Arms back, spread the fingers. Now sweep your fingertips and bring yourself up to Utkatasana, chair pose. So really squeeze your knees together, broaden your shoulders away, spread your fingers and think about your whole face being quite light, your chest being light, your throat being light. As you squeeze your knees, bring your tummy button in and up. We're going to hold for 3. So you inhale lightly up through the chest and exhale strongly down through the pelvis. Keep squeezing knees, keep tucking tummy button in. 2 more. Broaden the shoulders, spread the fingers, soften the eyes. 1 more. Now inhale, fingertips up to the sky. And exhale, hands to prayer. Release the palms forward, tiny roll of the shoulders up, back and down, Tadasana. Pause for a second, notice the energy in your legs and arms. Take a breath. And now shake everything off. Whew, very well done. I strangled myself with my t-shirt. So well done. We've got a few more things to go through, but the whole warming up of your shoulders, you will hopefully really benefit from this at the end of the sequence. So standing at the top of the mat in Tadasana, let's flow through some poses. Arms up, inhale, look up. Lengthen through the sides of the body. Hold the breath. And then exhale, look down, hands to the floor, release the spine. Inhale, lift up belly and chest, halfway lift. Step or jump, high plank. So chaturanga is high plank to low plank. So if you need to, bring your knees down. The body is still, you lower the elbows halfway. And now go all the way to your belly. Arms alongside the body. Feet flat back. Option 1, interlace the hands behind your back. Option 2, hold opposite elbow. So if you are hypermobile, then hold opposite elbow because I've strained my elbow from interlacing the fingers with hypermobility in my elbows. Now from here, I want you to inhale, lift up your feet, your arms and your chest. Breathe. Allow the chest to lift up, the arms to lift up, the feet to lift up as you focus on your breath. 2 more. Shoulders back, face is soft,
Last one. Gently lower down the feet, release your hands, rest your forehead, close your eyes, breathe into the back for 2. Nice big breaths in and out for 1. Now lift the face. We're going to do one more variation. So arms are wide behind you. Spread the fingers. Same thing. Inhale, lift up the feet, lift up the hands, and lift up the chest. So you're kind of reaching your hands back towards your feet as your feet reach back towards the back of the room. Hold for 2. Allow the body to lift up as you inhale. And gently soften slightly down as you exhale. 1 more. Arms up, feet up, chest up, lift up. Now gently release and smile to yourself as you breathe into the back for 2. Breathe into the shoulders for 1. Lift the face, bring your hands either side of the shoulders. Tuck the toes, elbows in. See if you can drag your knees in and then slowly push up. Bum back to the heels, down dog. If that was quite a lot of information, just wriggle everything out. Make your practice pleasurable. Don't be kind of tortured. Make it a challenge, but remember sometimes a challenge is to back off and not push forward. Right leg up, 3-legged dog. Open your hip as you push your hands strongly into the mat. Take a breath. See if you can sweep your right foot or swing your right foot to the top of the mat. Look forward, dome the fingertips, bend that back knee. As you strongly push your front foot, come up, high lunge. Now don't try not to wobble. Don't be afraid of moving your feet on and off the mat. What I mean by that is lifting them up and doing tiny placements. Hands up, spread the fingers, soften both sides of your neck. Find a point to stare at. So when your eyes are still, your body will be able to balance better. Bend the back knee a tiny bit. And now bring your arms to cactus. Either side of the shoulders, spread the fingers. Turn your left hand down and see if you can now reach both hands towards each other. Either hold on to your t-shirt or press your hands into your back or hold on to your fingertips or wrists. Now we want to focus on the middle and upper back. So elbows back, press your hands into your back and open your chest. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, make it more of a back bend by lifting up the belly and looking up. Hold for 3. Bend that back knee a tiny bit more to open up the heart center for 2. Elbows back, press the hands, open the heart center. 1 more. If you're looking up, gently look forward. Release your right arm, drag your left arm down to the floor and release your left arm to cactus. Arms up, hands to prayer. This is a challenge. I'm just going to say right now, my legs are too wide. So I've got to come out. Yeah, if you found that that's too much because I'm transitioning from one pose to another. If it's too much, come out like I just did. Set yourself back up, hands to prayer. Press the hands, lift the elbows, rotate belly, chest and face to the right. So you're twisting the same side as your front knee. Lean forward. Get the corner of that elbow to the corner of the knee. Press. Strong spinal twist, hold for 3 if you can. Back knee can go down if it's too much. 2 more. Whew. Yeah, I'm so wide. That's why I'm losing my balance. Last one, push through that back heel, press that elbow, intensify that twist. And then to come out, lift up the elbow, rotate torso to center, release the hands, press the hands and push. Step back, down dog. Come to your knees, allow your knees to be wide, big toes together, push back, child's pose. Rest everything down onto the mat, close the eyes. Breathe deeply for 3. So I don't normally find that such a challenge, but I'm finding it a challenge. So if you are, you're not alone. For 2. We only can do our best. We're not here to be or do things we're not ready for. We're just here to challenge ourselves and whatever we mean by challenge. Sometimes if I'm in a really bad mood, I have to have a really strong practice so that I can switch my mind fully off. We're all different, so just work with what you've got. Hopefully you've got some softness back into the body. Lift up the face, spread the fingers wide, and gently hinge the body forward. Over the wrists, tuck up the toes, activate the feet. Now hinge back. As you hinge back, press your toes and your fingertips and lift your hips. Push the hands, down dog. Tiny pulses through the shoulders, pedal out through the heels. Keep opening up the sides of the body. Move organically, animalistically. Trust that you know your body better than anybody else. One more breath and we'll do the other side. When you're ready, left leg up, 3-legged dog. Open up that hip as you press the hands strongly into the mat. See if you can sweep your left foot to the top of the mat. Dome the fingertips, look forward, lengthen. Take your time. So if you're out of breath, you should always pause, catch your breath back, and then move on. So bend the back knee, press the front heel, come up, high lunge. You will wobble. So make sure you're at a distance that you can hold. Soften the shoulders, soften the sides of the neck, spread the fingers, take a breath. Gently release your arms to cactus, elbows in line with shoulders, fingers spread. Turn the right hand down this time and start to reach the hands towards each other. Whether you hold on, whether you press your hands into your body, or whether you're able to do a bind by creeping up the right hand and holding on to the left fingertips. See what you can do today and accept where you are. Don't worry about wherever other people might be. Enjoy here, elbows back, breathing, or add a tiny back bend by really pressing the hands into the middle back and lifting up the upper back and chest. Look up, bend the back knee, hold for 3. Elbows keep going back, hands keep pressing into the back to open the chest for 2. Strong breath here, but soft through the face and the eyes. 1 more. If you're looking up, gently look forward. If you're binding, slowly release the arms back to cactus so the right arm goes down before it comes back up. And now hands to prayer. So on the other side, I had to take a break. So same thing, if you need to take a break, take a break. If not, press the hands, lift the elbows, inhale, rotate belly, chest and face to the left. Hook the top corner of the elbow to the top corner of the knee. Press the hands, push through the back heel, hold for 3. Keep rotating belly, chest and face for 2. It's quite hard because I'm making you do 2 poses in one. So again, if it's a challenge, just smile to yourself and take a big breath for 1. To safely come out, lift the elbow, press the hands, rotate torso back to center, release the palms, press. So I'm kind of leaning into the hands and then pushing back. Down dog. Gently come to your knees, have them wide, big toes together, push back. Child's pose. Let everything relax. Tell the body to let go, to be as heavy as it can be onto the mat. Soften the face and the breath. Breathe. So what we're trying to do is open areas of the body that you might not normally open or access. And then once we've opened them in those challenging poses, we then disperse the breath. So you start to shift things around inside the body. So if you've held on to trauma or stored or trapped emotions in your hips or your heart center, this will encourage things to keep moving. One more inhale and exhale. Lift up the face, open the eyes, spread the fingers wide. Hinge the body. Think about the body being soft because you're going over the wrists. Once you're over the wrists, tuck up the toes, activate the feet, and then hinge back. Lift up, down dog. From down dog, take your feet wide, so as wide as the mat. Now walk your hands towards your feet as you bend your knees. When your hands are near, see if you can flatten the feet. Press the heel, big toes off the mat. Now you want to press the whole foot down and see if you can lift up your arms, Malasana. Because this is quite tough, push through the heels and come up. Inhale. Exhale, sit down. See the long line from my arm, my ear, my shoulder. Inhale, come up. Knees are wide, tailbone goes slightly back. Exhale, sit down. Hands to the floor, same distance as down dog. Option 1, please do not lift your feet off the mat. I want you to bring your hands in, squeeze your knees to your underarms and lift the heels. So your arms come onto, so your knees come onto your arms. You lift up the heels and then you rock back. If this is too advanced, please ignore it and just do what you can. But the rocking forward and back means that you're not having to do the pose. You're doing child's pose on top of chaturanga arms. For those of you who may want a challenge today, pause. You have to look forward, do not look down. Balance is in your ears. You pause and you point your big toe of the right foot into the center towards the groin. And those of you who know what you're doing and are strong enough, you point both toes until big toes touch. Take a breath and then come back. Whew. Arms up, inhale, come up. Hands to heart center, feet together. Exhale, Tadasana. Shake that off. So obviously, unless I can see you, or unless you know what you're doing, I've got no idea how crow worked for you. I added crow because some people have been coming to my classes for a long time. So I want them to be challenged as well as I want new people to feel welcome, to feel like they can at least try some of the stuff that we do in class. Shake off the wrist. Big breaths in and out. We're going to do a balance pose. So once your wrists feel a bit okay, step to the back of your mat. Roll the shoulders back, open the chest, Tadasana. Option 1, take hold of opposite elbow behind the back. Option 2, prayer hands. If you're not sure about prayer hands, it's like this, but I really don't like it on my wrists. So for me, I would hold opposite elbow. Your choice though. Focus on the shoulders back. Focus on opening your heart center. Tiny smile if you ever feel too overwhelmed. The body will relax and respond. And then when you're in control of your breath, point your right toes forward. Look forward and just step into the middle of the mat. Feel through that foot. So allow the foot to feel. When it feels stable, bend the knee, lean forward. So lengthening the spine first. You'll find it really useful to think about your back leg as being really light. Push into the front foot and just float the back heel up. Elbows back, warrior three, shoulders back. Strong breath. Fix the gaze, good. 2. 1 more if you're still balancing. For a challenge, bend that knee, see if you can put your belly on your thigh and release your hands to the floor. Standing splits, tip the hips, look at the knees or shin, take your right hand and wrap it around the back of your right leg and hold for 3. Tell the spine to hang down towards the floor for 2. Don't worry about how high your back leg is. Focus about trying to rest your belly on your thigh. 1 more. And then look forward, release your right hand, bend your front knee, back toes will hit the mat, flatten the palms, press them and step back to down dog. Tiny pulses through the shoulders, pedal through the feet, let it all go. This is a strong lunchtime practice. I'm trying to give you a strong class to take you through the August that I'm off, and then I'll be back in September. Take your feet wide again, hands walk towards the feet, and then from here, ragdoll yourself slowly up. Lifting hands, lifting heels, spread the fingers, soften the shoulders, soften the neck. Take a breath. And then gently bring your heels to the mat. Hands to the heart center, feet together, release the palms forward. Roll the shoulders, Tadasana. Shake it off. So we've got the other side, then we'll cool down and you're done. So you should already be feeling really pretty strong. This is a really nice sequence. Let me know how you feel afterwards. So if you held opposite elbow, hold the unnatural way. So it'll feel weird, basically. If you did reverse prayer, then do reverse prayer. Shoulders roll back, chin lifts, face softens, catch your breath. When you feel ready, point your left toes forward. Step into the mat, feel through the feet, bend the knee, lift up tailbone, lean forward, elbows back. So you can always stop here. Or, like I said before, I find it really useful to think about my back leg as really light. As I lean forward, suck tummy button to spine, float that leg up. Warrior 3. Find something to stare at. Elbows push into the back or hands press into the back. Hold for 2. Don't be afraid to try the next thing. So after your next full inhale and exhale, see if you can bend the knee and rest your belly on your thighs. Then release the hands. Hands to floor, tip the hips up, look at the knee. Take your left hand, wrap it around the back of that leg. Breathe. Head and neck hangs heavy, eyes are soft. For 2. Tell the spine to let go, belly to let go. 1 more. Full inhale and full exhale. Release the left hand, lift the face, hands walk forward, flatten the palms, and then lean into the, back leg down. Lean into the hands and step back, down dog. Breath or so. Then from this down dog, look
forward if you can, bend both knees and see if you can do a tiny bunny hop, cross the ankles and come to seated. If you can't do that, it makes no difference, so just sit down. So, I know we don't have much time, but I want to add this in for those who want a challenge. The options are going to be bridge or bridge to wheel, okay? So if you find bridge a struggle, go up to bridge, hold it for a few breaths, come down, go up and try and hold it for double. If you want to try wheel, I'd say 30% of my students can do wheel in any class. Sometimes it's just one person, so don't worry if you can't. I can only go up for a split second because I have a midline scar. So set yourself up for bridge first of all, exactly how we started the class. This time you can have feet hip width apart or as wide as the mat, any variation. Palms down. Option 1, flatten the back. Squeeze up, hold your bridge. Option 2, take one hand to one side of the shoulder and the other hand to the other side. Now you spread the fingers, elbows come a tiny bit in. Now I start to move my feet because I'm feeling through my feet. I know my body well enough to know when it feels okay. And you can go straight up or you can do it like me in 2 stages. I'm going to inhale and come to the top of my head. From here, I'm going to inhale, I'm going to press my hands and push my chest through my arms and come up. If you're up, you can come to your heels. So you can lift the heels, walk the heels in towards the face, maybe look down, and then chin to chest, gently come down. If you're someone who does wheel, go up and down a couple of times. If you're someone who's just taking bridge, when I say just, bridge is not an easy pose, it's a full body workout. So both are good. You could do the full one where you have hands either side of the shoulders. You take a big breath in, you hold the breath. When you need to exhale, you push the hands as strong as you can and you lift the hips. And then you can come down. Whew. So don't overstress your wrists, shake it off. Whichever ones you've chosen, if you're still up in bridge, well done. If you did a couple of wheels, well done. Shake off the wrist. Make your way to your back. And very slowly, palms down so the shoulders are heavy. Allow both knees to go to one side, back to center, and then over to the other side. So always remember with knees side to side, it's a spinal twist. Don't be aggressive. Don't move your body around without thinking, without being loving, without having gratitude for the fact that your body has allowed you to try this class. Now take some big breaths and let everything go. Good. We're going to end on a final, actually I don't think we've got time. We'll end with a happy baby. So bring your knees to your chest, feet up, arms up. Take hold of outer foot, outer ankle or outer thigh or calf. Press the foot down. So the knees come either side of the torso, face is soft, shoulders relax, gently go side to side. Focus back on the breath now. You've had a challenging class. You've done your best, whatever you did. I just really appreciate us being together in these spaces. It's not about how good you are, how right you are. It's about us being together, moving, breathing, being creative, really focusing on our life force, which is our breath. And prioritizing ourselves over everything else that's going on in the world. We prioritize this time for ourselves. Pause your rocking, feet together, release the hands, lower down the feet. Now adjust the body and set yourself up for Shavasana. You could take Shavasana with legs extended, palms face the ceiling, traditional corpse pose.
Or maybe you feel like having your feet as wide as the mat and your knees touching. So that will give you a gentle outer hip stretch. Or maybe you want a more extreme hip opener, bringing your soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana, arms up in cactus. Whenever I've done shoulder work, I will do my Shavasana with my arms slightly above the head, with the middle fingers gently kind of towards each other. This weights down the shoulders and the arms that I've worked on. Allow the body to do any fidgeting that it may well feel it needs to do to find its place of comfort. And then when you feel ready, close your eyes. As you start to bring softness to your face, soften your shoulders, soften your throat, soften your jaw. Corners of the eyes soften, and then really importantly, see if you can broaden and soften the space between your eyebrows. As you show no emotions, no expressions, keep your face entirely blank. And now let's all go back to observing our breath as we follow this rising and falling. As we inhale and exhale, allow your breath to flow freely in and out of all of the tissues and cells of the body. Enjoy. I'll talk you around in a couple of minutes. Slowly start to take some deeper inhales into the side ribs before exhaling everything away. Take another full inhale up into the shoulders and back rib area before exhaling everything away. Lastly, inhale into the pelvis and hip area. See if you can balloon that breath and feel the space and softness before exhaling everything away. As you gently start to move the head from one side back to center and then over to the other side, start to wriggle the fingers and toes. And then when you're ready, roll to your right hand side and make your way to any seated position of your choice. Once you're seated, sit up tall, bring your hands to your heart center and close your eyes. Tailbone draws very subtly down as the spine lifts up and lengthens. Press the hands together, lift each corner of the elbow, and then allow your chin to just hang naturally towards the chest. Eyes are closed, but you're gazing towards your heart center as you send your breath up and down the spine. That was a very strong lunchtime practice. Thank you so much, as usual, for sharing your practice with me. You've been an absolute pleasure and joy to teach. So please enjoy your August break. And if you don't fancy a break, remember that to look up the Cambridge Biomedical Campus YouTube channel, and you can practice my classes on record in your own time. Enjoy the sun, enjoy getting away if you do at all, or swim in the sea. Take care.